Hey everybody, welcome back to Bookish Days. I am Brad, your Sunday, and this week's topic is big books. And really quick, I just want to say that my shelves may look a little different because I have a brand new bookshelf put in, and the books are all rearranged differently, and I will have an updated bookshelf tour on my personal channel soon, so just thought I'd point that out. But I have some big books. I only picked just a handful, but they are some of the biggest in my collection. So the biggest book in my collection is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Now, this particular edition clocks out at, I believe, 1,232 pages, and I have not read this yet. I got about 40 pages in, and I just put it down for some reason, and I haven't gotten back to it, but I hope to soon. But this is so big, and the text is kind of small, but, you know, I'm so excited to read it because I love the music and I love the movie. I'd love to see a stage production of this as well. I need to read this one day. And then we have The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, and this is of course the third book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and this one is, I believe, just under 600 pages or a little over. I believe it's under 600 pages. But still, this is such a big book. I got about halfway through The Son of Neptune, put it down, just wasn't in the mood for it, but I was in a reading slump at the time I read it, so I will go back to it, and I will read The Mark of Athena before The House of Hades comes out. This is a monster of a book. This is The Fury by Alexander Gordon Smith. Now, this one comes out on July 23rd, but oh my gosh. Now, on the back here it says that the final page count is going to be 688 pages. And wow, that is just massive, but I cannot wait to dive into this because this is about a world where everyone kind of turned into zombies, but I don't believe that they are zombies. They just get some kind of disease and they're after these three kids. Like the tagline here says, "What happens when the world turns against you?" So yeah, I'm super excited to read this. I will be reading this one soon and posting a review on my blog, so definitely look out for that. But isn't that cover super creepy? Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre. So I have been talking about this one a lot recently because I read this in March and I read this in a day, and this is 549 pages, but I flew through this so quick. This is so good. It's about assassin nuns, but this is such a good book. It's action filled, and this is just amazing, and it is another big book, but I read it so quickly, so I highly recommend you pick this one up if you haven't already. Now, compared to the first book, this is super big, and this is Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi, and this is, of course, a sequel to Shatter Me, and Shatter Me was somewhere in, like, the 300 page count, and this one's, like, 480 pages or something, so it's so much bigger, and I haven't read this one yet, but I am dying to. It's been really calling out to me, so I may have to read it this month. But I do kind of want to read Destroy Me first, but still, this is a super big book. And if you haven't checked out Shatter Me, you must, because it is so good. And then we have Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Now, this is the collector's edition, which is bigger than the original Insurgent. This one is like 590 pages, but just Insurgent is like 525 pages, so it is already super big. This is just a big, huge monster to get through, but I'm one of the people who actually really like this one a lot better than Divergent. I really love this book, and it is really big, and I hope that the third one is massive because I don't want this trilogy to end. And the final book I will be showing you, I'm just going to leave this as a representation for the entire series, and this is the Gone series by Michael Grant. Now, this is the second book, Hunger, and the reason I chose Hunger is because it is the biggest book in the series. It's 590 something pages, and it is such a big book, but I read this in like 2 days just because I couldn't put this one down. It's one of my favorites in the entire series. It's so good, and I recently read Light, and I'm kind of disappointed because it's the shortest book in the series. It's like 411 pages, but it's the shortest book and it's the last book, but you know, that's just a weird thing of mine. But this series is amazing. It's my favorite series ever, so definitely read these if you haven't, because yes, they're super big, but they are just so engaging and so amazing. You must read them. Alright everybody, so that is all from me this week here on Bookish Days. What are some of the big books in your collection? I would love to know, so leave them down in the comments, and I will see you next week with our next topic. Happy reading.